everybody, we're Derek with The Ultimate Hang, and today we're looking at the Multimok Bivymok. Some of you have seen this hammock before. It is kind of looks like a cargo net. It is a cargo net, but a high-tech one. And the basic frame itself is the Bivymok, and then you can layer on top of that different parts of hammock. They've got a hammock sleeve, they have a tent mode, which is the Bivymok. We're gonna show you all of those modes today, starting with this setup. So the hammock comes with this suspension, which is high visibility, high tensile strap, and then some high tensile knotted Spectra line. And this line has been knotted about every 8 inches. To connect the two, you have a loop on the knotted end, and we're gonna connect it to the loop here with just a lark's head that we're gonna flip over into a square knot mode. So that's your basic lark's head. We're gonna flip that loop over. Square knot, square knot. So we're gonna do this on all 4 ends and then set up the Multimok. All right, so on each corner of the Multimok net, the frame, you've got these O-rings. The Spectra line, we're gonna go through there, and this is where you apply the tension and adjustment. And the way they describe it, this is kind of an interesting method, but it's kind of like, calls it like a knot toggle or a knot something. But these knots, you're gonna find a spot along the daisy chain and kind of toggle that knot through, and it's supposed to pinch and hold. So that's the idea. We're gonna go and do this on all 4 sides. Another main consideration for any type of a hammock that's taut like this, you want to make sure that the trees that you're attaching to are large, robust trees. All right, so here's the Multimok, just the net version. Actually, that's not bad. If I had a pad, of course my ankles are falling right into this, so that's kind of cool. There's no ankle strain. No shoulder strain. But if I had a pad, this would work out perfect. This is actually pretty cool. The question is whether or not I could get this tighter and make it a little bit flatter platform. But in terms of a hammock, this right now feels like almost like a bridge hammock, but a little bit better because I don't have shoulder squeeze at all. And if I had a pad, I would probably eliminate, because I know one of the questions that people ask on the Multimok is whether or not you feel the grid system and if it's annoying. Well, yeah, you're gonna feel the grid without any padding, but it's really not that bad. It's not like rope hammocks where you feel things digging into your back. This could certainly be a little bit tighter. And I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try wrapping around the trees a little bit more and see if I can get this a little bit tighter, because when we go to bivy mode, that tent has some poles and accessories that I wanna make sure are gonna work really well. So let's give that a try. All right, I think I have pretty good tension. Now, the Multimok is rated to 1,000 pounds, all of the different systems. But I think for each strap, they rate the straps at about 500 pounds working, safe working load limit. To be quite honest, I'm surprised that the knot buckles work as well as they do. I was a little skeptical at first because they seem a little simple to hold that well. They kind of remind me, I brought this with me. These are the toggle ropes from Ship in a Bottle, and it uses a similar toggle system where, and this is also rated at like 1,000 pounds as well. The weave in this, you can spread it apart and throw a toggle through. So the whole system works very similar to this, although this makes me feel a little bit more safe and secure versus the knot, but it's the same type of a toggle. I'll experiment with this, but it's putting my trust into the manufacturer that they've tested this system, that it works. There's just not a lot of safety backup to this particular system that I'm aware of, but this is how it's designed to go. Now, we're gonna look at the bivy mode real quick. We have the tent poles, we have a platform, and we have the rain fly. So let's put those together real quick, get my assistant to help me, and this should go up pretty quick. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Do you want to try getting in it? So let's see, we've got right here. This is cool. Yeah, I like it. This would be fun to take on like a camping trip. I think the boys would like it, and the scouts. So we got. So I would grab the edge like this and then sit down. Like when you put your weight on it, you'll see that you'll be able to get in pretty easily.
I'm worried about that tree.
Oh, you're fine. It's not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
All right, scoot all the way, and I'm gonna get you out of mosquito range. So get all the way. Don't worry about your shoes. Yeah. What do you think? Try moving around the other way so where your feet are on that side.
Yeah, I mean how you get kind of
I don't think in this one you need a diagonal lay. In fact, like when I laid straight like this, actually works pretty well. I mean, whatever feels comfortable. What feels comfortable to you?
well, there's definitely
You feel a little bit of hyperextension. I wonder if that changed when I moved over here.
you haven't tried it yet. But you can try it.
Man, I'm getting bitten. So there's a center strap on both sides on that. So let's put up the rain fly real quick. I think the dark side goes against the door. Woo!
Is this considered a two-man?
Depending on how you pitch it, certainly on the ground, you could say this would be a two-person. One thing that's kind of, I'm gonna get on the other side. One thing that's cool about the Bivymok is you can actually create, so right now I would say this would be considered a one-person shelter because you're falling into the middle, almost like a bridge hammock. But because you've got the cargo net and all these different sections, you can actually, if you got another set of straps, you could pull up the center and create two beds, right? So on both sides, you could create two beds. So it looks like there's some elastic cord on each of the corners, and it also has these webbing straps also on all the corners and the midpoints. So if it were me, I'd probably have some guy line. I'm gonna connect the corners first and see kind of how that works with the elastic. But it may prove that I will need some guy line to pull it out, because I would like to kind of keep this out, create a little bit of a space between the hammock and the bug net, or excuse me, the tarp and the bug net. I'm not 100% happy with how I've set this up, because as you can tell here on the ends, the tarp's a little bit floppy. For me, I wouldn't want that for the rain, but there's plenty of tie-out points. So like right here in the middle, I would definitely want to raise this up, not only for ventilation, you can see supermodel in there, but to keep the tarp taut. So on the corners, I've just looped the tarp right to the O-rings. But on the other side, let me show you that. I actually connected, just to get a little more tension, I connected it to the suspension. So lots of options here, but you can see once I've done that, there's a little bit of a gap between the tarp and the bug net, which I like. And there's plenty of, if I guide that out with some guy line, It'd be nice and roomy for the Bivymok. All right, so there it is, the Bivymok from Multimok. It's actually pretty roomy. What do you say, Lissa?
Yeah, it's really roomy. Comfy. I'm falling asleep in here.
Lots of headroom. I mean, oh my gosh, it's probably one of the biggest headroom. Lots of pitching options. Now, tell me honestly, in terms of your back, how much are you feeling of the cargo net? Is it pronounced?
You can feel it. You can tell it's there, but it's not pronounced. It's not uncomfortable at all.
Not uncomfortable?
You almost have to think about it, and then you notice it, if that makes sense.
Yep.
But it's comfy. So, I mean, I guess you would want a pad for insulation.
Yeah, for sure.
But you don't need it for, I mean, it's comfortable. It's not like you need it for comfort, really.
So you don't need a pad for comfort. It's fairly comfortable. You don't really notice the cargo net unless you pay attention to it. That's good feedback. All right, so there we go, wide angle of the Bivymok. You can see how I've set it up on all these trees from Multimok. Actually pretty cool. I'm so far impressed with how it's getting set up. We're gonna show you one more configuration before we're done. All right, so this is the, we've just taken the platform, the tent off and put it on the ground. Once you peg the four corners, it pops right up. Same roomy interior, and I'm not gonna bother putting the tent part on, but it's actually pretty cool. Let's do a quick walk around. It's actually a well-designed, well put together, very simple design, but very functional. You could squeeze two people in there. It'd be tight, but not unlike a lot of two-person shelters. So single pole design, nice bivy if you just want to sleep on the ground. So there we go, the Bivymok. Man, they're getting all over the place. We're getting licked alive.